Alright, folks. So, there's something I want to discuss and I want to talk about and get off my chest for tonight because last night, I don't know if you folks have watched it, but I sure as hell did. The presidential debate, the first one, and I gotta say, what a fucking joke. What an absolute goddamn joke this was. Like, I'm sorry, but I do not have faith in either of these two. I really do not, okay? So man. So basically, um all it really was, right, was just pointing fingers at each other. And they and both candidates, Trump and Trump and Joe, um they pretty much answered half the questions, and they pretty much said to each other that they've been lying to each other or whatnot. You've been lying. You're the worst president. No, you're the worst president in the history of the country. Whatever. He's gonna destroy our country. No, he wants you to raise your taxes. No, he wants you to stop being freedom and stuff. This is not what our founding fathers fought for and everything. Like, can both of you old farts get a damn grip? Both of you grandpas? I'm sorry. We got one who's freaking on stage free and every at the end of the time, legitimately. I feel so bad for goddamn Joe. I'm not saying that mockingly, but really genuinely, because half the time he was up there, he did not look so good. I'm sorry, he did not look good. Like, did he force himself to get up there on stage? Did he sleep in or some shit? Mr. President, the debate. Huh? President, the debate. Oh, shit, okay. You know, like, what's happening here? And then, of course, you got Trump, who's just, standing there, just being like, okay, okay, that's what you want to believe, okay. And to get back to Joel real quick, he kept like stirring things up. Like he was legit just talking in circles. It was like watching an SC and NPC. You could throw in the Oblivion, Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion music or whatever, that meme music. You can throw that music in. Because he's just all. Like he's just stuttering his words or whatever. And he's all. Half the time he's all looking off into space. Like he's at freaking stage 6 or some shit. And he like has his mouth open, like he's about to, I don't know, drool or something. I'm not trying to mock the president here, but like he should never have been president here. There's a reason why the other countries around us are laughing at us and mocking at us because legitimately, Joe does not pose as a strong leadership. I don't care if he's the president. I'm goddamn sorry. He just does not. And, like, while the rest of us are, like, in, I don't know, stage 1 or whatever, if ever at the end of time, stage 0 or whatever, poor old Joe here is at freaking stage 3, practically near post awareness in stage 4. Like, I'm not trying to be mean, but I just generally feel bad because he's got the world on his freaking shoulders here, and he really does not know what he's doing half the time. But I really do not think Trump's going to be any better because there's just too much debate and drama. Because we cannot have Trump for some unknown godly reason. And the thing that just gets to me is the whole overall divide, you know. And the two candidates really did not help with that either. Trump got hot headed, like of course he does, because of course he gets hot headed, he gets angry, whatever, and then Joe's just he's like freaking like this, like like he's freaking spinning around. Whoa, whoa, like freaking at the freaking T pose, like he's a freaking J mod playing, like he's Like he's freaking glitching out of reality or some shit. Like he doesn't know what the frick's going on. And he starts talking about numbers and stuff. He first would go to like, I don't know, 5 trillion or whatever. He goes, no, excuse me, 8 trillion or whatever. No, 8 billion, whatever. No, million, you know. And he like stuttered half his words a lot, like, something like that. Like he had to really think really damn hard on his words and stuff. And Trump's not any better either, honestly, because Trump just kept saying, you know, you're the worst candidate, you know, whatever in the issue of the country. And I do believe a lot of Trump's point of views, but I really do not think Trump is the greatest either. No, none of these two buffoons are, honestly. I truly stand by that. And honestly, I'm at a point to where I generally feel like, and I hate to say this because I know it's depressing, but I generally feel like that when I don't give a shit about the world and I just kind of go into a role play simulation or whatever in my head, right? And just stop caring, stop giving a shit. I'm generally more happy. I know that's a messed up thing to say, but it's really true. I generally get more happiness now just daydreaming on stupid shit that doesn't even exist rather than focusing on the real world events of what's going on and everything. And it's not that I don't want to kill, I do want to kill, but they just don't give, these two don't give any of us any reasons to vote, at least for me. And it's just, they just don't give a reason. And I really feel like maybe not Joe so much, though I feel like he could have pushed a bit more if he really wanted to, because yeah, he's old, he's legit got like Alzheimer's, I think legitimately, and I'm sorry, but like with just that fact alone should be a immediate red flag for presidency. Yeah, Ronald Reagan, he got dementia. He had Alzheimer's, surprisingly enough, but that was after his campaign and everything. If you're king or queen, right? If the most powerful person or whatever in a kingdom, right, of a castle or whatever, you know, right, has a mental illness or something, right, that makes a kingdom overall weaker, they should have never qualified to be king or queen in the first goddamn place, because it overall hurts the reputation, it overall hurts the image of the kingdom. And that's why the other kingdoms laugh at it and everything, because the king acts like he's all tough and everything, he's all woke and everything, when really he's goddamn not. And if a king is weak, or a queen or whatever, if they're weak and don't impose, if they don't make an imposing threat, wherever they come to you or you come to them or whatever, right? If they're not have a strong, firm image of what they are, here's what they do, this is what they represent, this is what, you know, or whatever, right? Then yeah, of course any other kingdom would easily storm it. How can citizens in a kingdom be strong, or even guards, or even protective big guards, or whatever tier there is, if there is any? How can the whole rest of the kingdom be firm and strong if the goddamn king or queen on the very throne that they sit in aren't even strong themselves? Like, think on that for a moment, folks. Like, legitimately. Because honestly, I think the biggest destruction is not because of Joe or even the liberals, even though they try and try and try and try and try to push Joe in because they can't have Trump for some reason. But you know, I think the biggest damage is not just the government here, but the overall political world. And I truly stand by that. Because, and I'm not just saying that because, like, it's a fight for LGBT or whatever, but, like, it's getting to the ridiculous point now to, well, some things just aren't becoming worth it anymore. And part of the depressing reason is voting too. Like for me personally, I am not gonna vote. I don't care what any of you folks say, how important it is or whatever. It is not important to me because unless they give me a goddamn reason why I should vote, and not just like say vote for me because da 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 whatever, but like say what are you gonna do with this? What are you gonna do with that? What about the Social Security? What about insurance? What about housing? What about this? What about that? You know, unless they give me an actual reason, an actual purposeful meaning to vote for them, I will vote. But none of these two gave me an actual reason. And I'm not alone on this. And I'm not saying this as a conservative or a liberal. I'm saying this as on the fence between either side. Because at the end of the day, is it really worth pushing one side or the other, folks? Like, it's getting so ridiculously bad to the point to, well, it's just idiotic. I legitimately have, and I don't really have anxiety, but I have this ticking time bomb clock now of this November. I don't think we're gonna have like a war or anything, but we're definitely gonna have a goddamn civil war. I bet you sweet ass we will, folks. I'm not trying to fearmonger, but I legitimately feel like we're gonna have a civil war because things have gone so extreme here, so cookie cutter of black and white with no gray. You know, red versus blue, legit Team Fortress 2 style or whatever, right? Like, things have gone so black and white to the point to, well, it's, well, if you're not with me, you're my enemy. When in reality, if you're not with me, okay, that's fine, you do you. But it's not getting like that anymore. We've slowly stopped to, well, we can't agree with each other without accepting. You know, we've gone to the point to, well, if we don't agree on each other, then we can't accept. When in reality, that should not matter. We don't have to agree on anything. You know, you folks don't have to agree on my view. The very same thing, I don't agree on your view. You know, but we can still accept each other because at the end of the day, all views are justified. Whether it's just a quick, okay, that makes sense, and not actual proof, or a long ass term of proof and give a full goddamn book of a reason to why that's your justification for your views. And like, looking on LGBT, right? Like, I am not a part of LGBT, right? I've never had dysphoria. I would never be trans. I would never be gay. I would never be ever interested in a man, right? That's not me. But does that mean that I need to force everyone else to be like me? No, of course not. Nor do is it the same thing with the other side. If my friend Luna, legitimately, if he was like, you know what, Wistful, I think you're a woman or whatever, or you're non binary, and did it as a forceful thing, and it's like, you're a woman. Deep down, you're a woman, and you need to accept it without any of saying of what I say in it, I would toss his ass right out, legitimately. You know, I would throw him out. You know, same with anyone. You know, and he's never been that way, and I don't think he ever will because he's never been the type of person to me to be forceful on that. Yeah, he's been firm on LGBT rights and stuff, rightfully so, but he's never been the type of way to, well, he ever, and even before transformation or whatever, he's never ever been that type. Well, he's ever been like, even if it came close to that, he would still leave it in a way to leave it to my decision alone. Like, even if he said, I think you may be a woman, but that's just me. He would say something like that. And I am no LGBT, a part of it by any means, but that does not mean that I need to toss them aside or dehumanize them, because at the end of the day, they're people too. But I'm not going to flag around being like, woo, LGBT, because I don't really participate in that because I'm not a part of it. But I also don't believe in flashing it everywhere on outsiders that don't really want to know or don't really care. At the end of the day, folks, I just accept people for who they are. If they're a good person, they do good in the world and they're overall kind and everything, then I'll gladly accept them. Regardless of views, beliefs, religion, it really does not matter to me whatsoever. Even on the political scale or view or whatever, right? I don't mind being friends with anyone. I really don't. I don't care if you're a conservative or a Democrat. I don't even care who you even vote, in this next coming election. Because at the end of the day, that's just your choice. Your choice, your voice. And just because I have a certain view or certain way of believing things does not fully mean that you folks need to accept my view as your view just because you're a fan of me or whatever. And just because I have a different view than you does not also mean that you need to hate me now or downgrade me or whatever now. At the end of the day, we're all human. We all have different views and beliefs, and all of them, whether they're justified or not, that's the freedom of choice. That's the ultimate beauty of here in America. I truly feel and truly believe. Freedom of speech, land of the free, is land of the goddamn free. Regardless of views or whatever. But at this point, it's to the point to where it's not the land of the free. It's freaking land of fading democracy or whatever. And it just saddens me greatly how two of these candidates, instead of actually giving actual goddamn reasons for the audience, for us, the American people, or whatever, to give actual reasons to support them or not and vote with them or not. It just became a back and forth banter of you suck, no, you suck, whatever. And freaking porn stars and I'll kick your ass in one-on-one golf and stuff. Like, this has got to be a joke, folks. Like, have we lost meaning to what president means? Have we lost meaning to that? Have we really become so delusional that we've, like, it's like this country is on dementia, legitimately. If America was a person or whatever, this country would be, like, on dementia. Even more so than even Joe, honestly. Because us ourselves, as the country human body cells or whatever, are eating away at each other because we can't agree on one thing or whatever. I still find it super damn idiotic still that out of all of the shit that's going on in the country and everything, the only thing both parties still agreed on was the TikTok ban. That may or may not come, we'll have to see on that still. But like still, like, are you kidding me? What, because China has a slice of pie of our data and some shit? We do the same thing here too, but we can't have that? Like, fuck off with that. I don't know, folks. And I don't mean to ramble here and vent here, but this is just something that I just want to get off my chest and I've been waiting all day to do. I didn't do it earlier because my father has graveyards tonight and he's a super damn light sleeper. Like, not even a ninja, I think, can sneak in to the house without him waking up. And I like to be very generous here, very considerate here with my family here. So that's why I waited till this evening to talk about this and everything. But yeah, overall, politics suck. I do have a separate video that I want to talk about maybe on the political world and everything. But I truly feel like neither of them, Trump or Biden, are gonna make America great again or make, you know, America back to the way it kind of was in a sense. I truly feel like at this point we just need a third party to squeeze in and just have it be on like, or or maybe even just have a candidate that will actually give us just meaningful reasons to vote on. You know, I don't know, folks. I just feel like, I don't know, it just really discourages me that these two candidates, how the very president of this country that I'm in, that we're in, at least for me, is freaking at stage 3 here and doesn't even know what the heck he's doing. And Trump's just a hothead that's just pushing forward, which the liberals are going to flip their shit, and then the conservatives are going to flip their shit. It's just to the point to, well, I'm not even going to vote. I'm not even going to put anything on there. Because I truly do not care. I want to care. I really do. But I'm just at a point to, well, I'm generally more happy being in oblivion, being in an empty void, than to actually know what the hell's going on. Because this shit right here legit just gives me a headache, and it just pisses me off on both ends, because we're just entering into another civil war here, because we just can't put aside our differences, because we're so tied down to whatever Husa says or whatever and stuff, rather than making our own damn judgment for our very selves. And yeah, I overall just wanted to talk about this and share my thoughts and everything. And yeah, what an embarrassment! What a complete utter joke. Thank you, Trump and Joe. Thank you, Trump and Joe. Thank you both for giving us absolutely nothing to have faith in. Thank you both for bickering at each other. You know, on a presidential debate, you normally would give your reasons to why we should vote for you. You know, not just with the numbers or whatever, but what the hell are your plans? What's your reason? And we don't care if who's the worst or so and so's the worst. We don't give a shit about that. What we give a shit about is what's the next step forward. And both of you just pointing fingers at each other. You know, I'm very curious to see that goddamn golf one-on-one now. Will you two even make it, or are you two just gonna fall on your face or whatever? Who the hell knows at this point? But anyway, that is pretty much it for this video here. And yeah, I'm done ranting. I don't want to drag this video longer than it is. Overall, I'm just disappointed in the world. I'm disappointed in this country here. I really thought, I know we're not the best anymore now, but I really thought for a sliver of hope that we would maybe be a little bit better. But no. Guess that's what you get with the government these days, I guess. So, anyway, at the end of the day, this is just one voice here, and it's mine alone, so, yeah. If you folks enjoyed it in some sense, I guess, I'm glad you did. I'm curious to know what your folks' thoughts are on or anything. I'm curious to know what you folks think of this and everything. What are your views? Did you watch the presidential debate? You know, what are your thoughts? And again, I want to say this before we end here. Again, if you disagree with me or don't have the same views as me and want to discuss it, we can say it in the comments, but I ask that we do it maturely. We don't all have to be kids. Excuse me. We don't all have to be adults and grown-ups to not be mature. We can still, even if some of us are very young and everything, we can still be very mature. Maturity does not come with age. It comes with groundedness. it comes with focus and everything, I feel. So anyway, with all that being said and out of the way, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all sooner or later. Bye bye, everyone.